Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for stopping by for today's video. And again, I just want to say a huge sorry. I feel like I say this every single video. Sorry for the bad upload schedule recently. This week has been kind of a mess, but we're going to try to get back onto it. So today we're starting a new series just for exotic reviews in general, and we're going to be reviewing them on a 1 to 10 scale, 10 being the best, obviously, and 1 being the worst. So today's weapon of choice that we're going to be going is actually this season's special exotic, which is going to be the Witherhoard. It comes with countermass and black powder, which is just going to help with explosions and all that stuff. Then we got break the bank, which is its first special trait, which is going to be blighted targets take damage over time, and kills will drop blight on death. And we also got Primeval's Torment, which is going to be like its other exotic perk, which is kind of just like the main gimmick of this weapon is just the blight projectiles that it shoots out. But also the masterwork thing is super important here. This is going to be a game changer for this weapon. It maxes out the handling, but it also gives it auto-loading holster, which is just... But it's not really auto-loading holster because it's not the same time frame. It's like a enhanced version of it, if you will. So just taking a look here, it does hold 21 shots, which is kind of standard for most grenade launchers, if you will. And just taking a look at this knight here, it does literally so much damage. And you're going to see that I have 3,366 damage. You might see different damages on the knight because we use this on the ogre. For just generally speaking, we want to do it on the highest, tankiest guy, and everything from down there will be more damage. It's roughly like around a 200 damage difference, but you see there's going to be a total of 17 ticks per thing. And it's going to be around 8 seconds is how long this blight is going to last on the ground. It's obviously a little bit different milliseconds wise, but for generally speaking, that's how it's going to be. But just look at how much damage it does with one shot over here on the ogre. It's going to take him about to half health, which is so good just for a special weapon. The main thing that you want to use this weapon for is just kind of for taking damage, right? So you're going to hit him with your Witherhoard, and then you're going to switch to a different weapon, and it will allow you to put out some really good damage. And also, like mentioned before, once you kill him, a blight will drop on the ground, which is essentially getting 2 shots, which is really powerful. And like I said before, that this weapon is just really unique, and it's one of the most unique weapons in this game, which is really awesome. But taking a look at something, a cool thing you can do with this weapon is that you can put something on the ground, and then you can hit him with the impact shot, so it will stick to him, so you can do like double damage. But when it's on the ground, it's going to do about like 1.7 thousand damage per shot. So it's just a really fun weapon to use. Overall, I highly recommend this weapon. But like one of the great things about this is that you could shoot this into a mob of not even yellow bars. You can just do regular red bars, and you can like walk away for a second, do damage to other things, and you can come back and literally everything is dead. It's so good. And also plus generating the orbs of light is really useful as well too once you get the masterwork. So it can just make like 5 orbs on just one huge cluster of enemies, which is really cool. And the reckoning right now, which is I'm trying to grind to get the gnawing hunger, the curated version, like many of you guys are, and it is just so good at here. Just like looking here, we just put it on this little pillar thing right here, and it just completely kills all the ads over here. And you can make usually like 7 orbs, but I believe someone had their super and was kind of killing everything before it got to me. But for the most part, it is just so useful, and especially in this event right here, it just completely kills everything. It's so useful, and it's just overall a really good exotic, and I recommend it highly. But other things it's good for is just strikes in general. You can also use it in raids. It's extremely powerful. Does really good damage because you can also use a different heavy weapon, because this is kind of functions like an anarchy, if you will. And the fact that you don't have to use anarchy, you could use like a different like grenade launcher like Wendigo, which puts out really good damage. You could also have something like the falling guillotine, which is honestly an overpowered weapon that we've talked before on the channel. You can use that in tandem with this, which is super useful. Obviously you can't use another exotic, but there are some really strong legendary weapons that definitely could fill the role. So some pros of this is just the damage over time. It also does AoE. You can switch weapons while it's doing damage over time. It also comes with auto loading with the masterwork, and it's also super easy to get. Obviously it comes in the season pass. Literally, if you just buy it, it's in the first tier, which is it's like honestly one of the easiest things to get. And it's really awesome because anarchy is obviously get locked by a raid, and not everyone can do a raid, so it just is an alternative to using it, which is really awesome. Some cons that it does have is that obviously it takes up the exotic slot, which that's true with everyone, so I don't know if that's really on there or not. But the reload is incredibly slow. That is the main one drawback of this weapon. Honestly, if this masterwork did not have like 3, 2, 1 pseudo auto loading holster, it would honestly lose a point in the overall category for it, but just because it does, it makes this weapon so powerful. And honestly, it's not too hard to actually complete the objectives on this. If you guys do need help to get that, it's just pretty self-explanatory, and the Crucible might be honestly the hardest one to do, but it's not too bad in the grand scheme of things. You could do it in something like when Iron Banner comes around, because usually people will play then. But overall, this weapon is such a fantastic weapon to use, and there's so many builds you can do with it. We can go in depth in that in a later video if you guys are interested in that. But overall, this is by far one of the best exotics in this game, and I'm super excited that this was put into the game because it's so unique and so different, and it honestly brings like a new gameplay element that we don't often see in exotics right now. But overall, like, this weapon is just so good, and I highly recommend it if you guys don't have Anarchy. Obviously, Anarchy does more damage just because it's not a special weapon, but overall, I'm going to give this weapon a 10 out of 10 on the exotic scale. Super awesome, really good damage. It's a special weapon, so it does pump out a lot of stuff, and you can do multiple things with it. It has a lot of utility for ad clear, just blocking off areas, and in Crucible it's also really potent too, just because of how annoying it is. But yeah, overall this is a really great weapon, and I highly recommend using this. But that's going to do it for this first exotic review that we've ever had. I hope you guys did enjoy this. I know I'm so sorry again for the long delays between videos. I'm trying to get down to a schedule here, but if you guys are new to the channel, subscribing does help out a ton, like a ton. You guys have no idea. We recently hit 22 subscribers, which is really awesome. I'm so happy to have each and every one of you. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy today's video, leaving a like is really awesome. I will see you all in the next one. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.